Yeah, you, come here. Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore. Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here. Use offer code SPICE404. They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more. Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
Turnpike Sports Book Report.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casinos now, your favorite sports book available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E, and you get a risk-free bet up to $300 and 20 bonus dollars at BorgataCasino.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to another edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report, where we discuss the state and national sports betting reports. We look at legislative updates. We look at launches. We look at deals. We look at hirings. We do pretty much everything regarding the sports betting industry in this country, this continent, and internationally as well. And we just came out of a holiday week with Thanksgiving, and still a lot of stuff to report. It's amazing.
A lot of stuff from October, too, to report.
Well, states are still reporting their numbers.
Still reporting their numbers.
As a matter of fact, one of the states we're going to start talking about set records across the board, which was New Hampshire.
Ah, that powerhouse New Hampshire.
The DraftKings state.
Yes, the Granite State.
No, DraftKings state.
Yeah, they should just change it.
Yes. But
they should put DraftKings on the license plates.
Live free or DraftKings?
Or bet DraftKings.
Well, hey, it's working for them. Whatever it is, it's working for
them. We joke
because
because DraftKings basically has a monopoly in New Hampshire. They're the only sports book allowed to operate.
51% goes to the state of the revenue.
Yeah,
so, you know what? It's a good deal for the state.
Well, it's a good deal for
it's a great deal for DraftKings.
Yeah.
But anyway, New Hampshire came in with their October numbers, and they basically just set all new benchmarks for themselves.
Oh, across the board, yeah.
Total handle, 98.19 million. Mobile handle of 68.12 million. Gross gaming revenue, just under 5.5 million. And the state revenue share, their taxes, just over $2.5 million.
Now,
all new benchmarks for them.
All state records.
All state records.
October is so good for the sports betting community. It's really good for the sports books, too. I mean, you basically have every sport playing, every major sport playing in October.
And it's all NFL-driven.
NFL, college football, you have hockey, you have basketball, you have the World Series. I mean, what a great betting month.
Well, again, it's October. I think November is going to be even better.
Well, November doesn't have the World Series.
No, you don't have the World Series, but baseball was not up there with a lot of states either. It was NFL,
it was something,
NBA.
Though.
No, it added to it. Baseball added to it, but really, I think the start of the NFL, the start of college football, you have November college basketball is going to be in full swing. So, you know what? I think with baseball dropping out, college basketball fill in the
college basketball is going to pick up the slack.
I've noticed over the past couple of years, and maybe it's because there are more states launching every year or every month here, when college basketball betting is reported, it seems to me the last 2 years here, college basketball betting during the regular college basketball season, not just March Madness, but college basketball betting has grown.
I love college basketball betting because you know what? No load management. You know, you basically.
Oh, you're fascinated.
You're
with that
basically
phrasing.
going to know who play. Hey, you're not going to sit a college player because he's tired and you want to save him for the tournament. No, he plays every day. You know who's playing. You know when the basketball, the NBA starts, you have to figure in load management, and books are starting to figure out and factor in load management because futures. You know, they're pretty low. I mean, games. How many games?
You do have to. You do have to adjust for lower.
They've adjusted them for load management.
Well, you know, it's one of those things. Not the books have to learn that too. And
Well, they have done. They've adjusted.
I think they're on a steeper learning curve than the bettors. Let me put it that way. They always are. Every book is always that way. I'm not saying anything, out of the blue here, but again, we had another state reporting numbers, and they set records too. But you got to take this one with a grain of salt. South Dakota is only in its second month of operation,
And
they had a October handle of $815,000. Now remember, South Dakota.
do we have to call that a record?
Well,
I mean, every month they're going to have a record.
Calling
They're
it
brand
a record.
new.
I'm
They're
facetiously
weeks old.
calling it a record, because their first month was September.
Is South Dakota calling it a record?
No, they're not.
Like for marketing purposes?
Probably they should.
Another record-setting month in
But again,
South Dakota.
South Dakota's got that weird setup where there's only sports betting allowed in the casinos in Deadwood.
All right.
So it's only Deadwood reporting still. So take that with a grain of salt. They basically went up 83% from September to October in terms of handle. So that's a good jump.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that. Let's talk a little Florida before we
What a mess.
move on.
What an absolute mess.
I don't know. Taping this.
I don't even know what to say about Florida because it changes every day.
Well,
I mean, we're talking about this one day. I mean, we're recording this, and now next day could be different. Another day could be different. Just it's a mess right now.
Well, for sake of transparency, we are recording this on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
At the moment, right now, what happened was
Florida's still going to be a mess.
Yeah, it's going to be a mess no matter what.
I don't care what.
But
I don't care what time we're
the
taping it.
district judge ruled that the compacts were the judge invalidated the state compact for the gaming with the Seminole tribe, and what happened was on Wednesday, the tribe went to do a motion for a stay of the judgment pending the appeal, and that was denied. So basically, they're filing an appeal.
All this is a mess. This is crazy because, look, the state said okay. The federal government said okay. The Department of Interior said okay.
The federal government did not say okay.
Well, they kind of punted it. They didn't say no. When the federal government doesn't say no, you can go and do whatever you want. Let's be honest.
Well, again, I think the federal government made the mistake thinking this was just like all the other state compacts.
They thought it was a done deal, and let's not even get involved in it.
It's one of those things where
now they're probably going to have to get involved.
The Department of Interior screwed this up, I think. All they had to do was issue an opinion, and they didn't even issue an opinion. And it's a mess because it's such a unique gambling compact that they came up with. And they specifically say in the compact that mobile betting is off tribal lands.
Yep.
And that should have been a clue for the Interior to actually take this one a little differently than all the other ones they sat back and just let through.
The Department of Interior saw it, they read it, and they decided, you know what?
They did nothing.
We're not going to do anything. We're going to let it go. We're not going to. The main thing for me is they didn't object.
No.
They didn't say, no, let's not do this. They didn't do anything. They let it go.
Well,
it went for a couple of weeks.
They did that before in a couple other instances, and it worked out fine. But this is a little different situation. This is a monopoly more so than anything else. And also it does directly violate that Indian Gaming Regulatory Act because it's in the wording of the compact.
Well, then you know what, Department of the Interior? Say something.
So somebody got a little...
You got one job.
Yeah.
Say something.
They didn't even do that one job. So right now we're kind of in a mess, and like I said, as we're taping this, the appeal was filed. Seminole Game is going to file an appeal with the federal court. So if something happens Monday, Tuesday, early part of next week, the story will be different. But right now, by the time this airs, we may have something to do.
They'll probably be up and running. Or not. I don't know.
Well,
who knows?
As far as I know, right now, they're still up and running. They're still taking bets.
I don't know. We're not in Florida. I don't know how that. Would you be confident in placing a bet knowing that at any second something could be ripped off the internet?
I would be comfortable placing a bet on tribal lands.
Okay.
If you're doing a mobile bet on tribal lands, I think that might actually escape all this BS. But if you're like in a different area of the state where you're not on a tribal land, you may see something go wrong with your account.
Yeah, that's what I'd be worried about.
But again, I just think, we may see, but as far as I've been reading, other people have been posting stuff, they're still taking bets.
Everyone let this get too far without a clear understanding of what should be done and the appropriate measures. It's just ridiculous.
Well, no one understood the possible outcomes of what would happen with the lawsuits. Governor DeSantis' office, the Seminole Tribe, just blew off all the lawsuits, and, they really didn't fight hard until they actually were in the middle of the lawsuits.
No.
Which is, that's also a problem, too. But everything was handled badly all the way through this. Came across a statistic I actually wanted to throw out here in terms of gambling sites. This is in the UK. This is kind of an interesting little situation here. In the United Kingdom, the Department of Health and Social Care blocked 2,081 attempts to access gambling websites last year from their offices.
Now, was this a self-exclusion type of thing? Or
no, they were hitting their employees. They were blocking their employees.
Wait. Give me that stat again. I thought they were blocking people that they should be blocking. Say that again.
The Health and Social Care, the Department of Health and Social Care blocked 2,081 attempts to access gambling websites last year.
Oh, in their office.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
No details on how many were successful.
It's a very interesting thing. I'm not sure how it works in New Jersey, but if you're a state worker, I mean, if you're on a 15-minute break, can you get on? I guess probably you shouldn't use your computer at your desk.
You can't access any kind of.
They probably have blockers on it, but on your phone you can do it.
They would block it on the phone too, using the internet. There's software
things that can block even on your personal phone.
Yes.
So
once you leave the building,
if I want a 15-minute break to play Wheel of Fortune slot machines, I have to walk outside.
Walk outside.
Really? They can block my phone.
Get up off your ass and go outside.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
You get some fresh air too. Instead of sitting there all day.
Fresh air in December.
Well, at least you'll wake
cold.
up. You'll wake up.
So,
but
see, I know they can block their official computers that are sitting at their desk. I didn't know if they can block their phones or their personal tablets that they bring in,
Well, there's software that can do anything.
Unbelievable.
Couple launches. FanDuel got their launch authorization in Wyoming last week. No actual go live date has been given at this point, but they were given permission to launch when they can. Penn National Gaming announced the opening of Hollywood Casino Morgantown will be December 22nd, which will also have a Barstool Sportsbook.
Great.
First sportsbook in Berks County for Pennsylvania. That's kind of a unique thing there.
Here in New Jersey, I know Barstool Sportsbook Mobile is live. Are they live anywhere? I mean, do they have a retail book anywhere?
Not that I know.
I was just in Atlantic City, and there was no Barstool Sportsbook there.
Well, speaking of Barstool Sportsbook, they have launched in West Virginia. They are now in 11 states.
Great.
Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia, which I just said. Mm-hmm. Betfred. We don't talk too many advertising campaigns, but Betfred launched a new advertising campaign in the UK. I had to bring this up because it's kind of an interesting ad campaign. They have an ad campaign called "Let's Get Ready to Rumble."
Okay,
and by that phrase, I think you know who's featured in it.
Sure, Michael Buffer.
Yep. It's the entire campaign is celebrating the return of the live sports environments and the way that the operator drives massive fan engagement and passion.
Yep.
Okay, so and Inspired Entertainment also announced a new deal to launch 2 new games with Eurobet, their partner overseas.
Okay.
Penalty Shootout and Marble Racing. I got to check out Marble Racing. I was watching some of it.
What is Marble Racing?
The teams put little marbles on tracks and they run through and they time them.
Okay. There is a virtual game on
them.
Borgata. Yeah, I know it's them. I didn't know it was Marble Racing. I know it had something to do with marbles.
Yeah, it's Marble Racing.
I saw that on Borgata. And it was
remember during the lockout, ESPN was showing Marble Racing on TV?
Yes.
That's what this is.
Okay. Well,
it's virtual marbles.
I'm going to go play it now.
I'm actually going to see if I can watch some more of this. I know the league has an incredible amount of videos on YouTube. for marble racing, which is kind of fun. A little tie into the Florida disaster, whatever you want to call it, that's going on there.
Stupidity.
Yes. Google has announced that they will no longer accept sportsbook ads in Florida.
Okay.
Why
just
the ruling,
in Florida?
'cause
That's the
according
ruling?
to the ruling, it's illegal in Florida.
Jeez.
So,
everyone had their ad campaigns ready to go. They probably had them all rolled out.
well, there's only one ad
Well,
campaign.
I mean, but they had it all rolled out and stuff like that. Now it has to be refigured, I guess. Look, sports betting is going to happen in Florida. I mean, this is just stupid. This is a waste of time. This is dumb.
Well, again, they didn't want to do the constitutional amendment route, which, I thought that was the best way to approach this.
Well, it's one way. It's not necessary.
Well, it was
but
the
it's one
gambling.
way.
Well, the gambling compact way did not work out, and then the other way is the FanDuel DraftKings ballot referendum, which seems to be gaining steam. So it'll be interesting to see which way it works. I don't know what's going to happen with the appeal, but again, Google will not accept sportsbook ads. I mean, that'll change if the ruling changes.
Sure,
but right now, no Google ads for sportsbooks in Florida. Let's head over to New York, talk some legislation there, because everybody's waiting for the launch of mobile sports betting. Last week, the sports betting rules were officially published or adopted, and they were published in the New York State Register.
Okay. Yep.
Necessary step required by law to get things moving towards the launch of mobile sports betting. We'll see exactly how the Gaming Commission implements the rules. That is going to start putting everything into motion a little bit more. Still, they're talking Super Bowl, February.
Very early February, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So could be earlier, and no one was expecting the rules to be published this quickly.
I really think it's going to be sooner than later. I think it's going to be a couple of weeks before the Super Bowl. I really do. I mean, I would bet you right after Christmas, mid-January, I would think. Something like that, Well, it's just moving too quick now.
I was the opposite way with Louisiana before they launched, and they launched real quick.
Yeah, I mean,
so I'm never again. I'm going to try and handicap a thing, but I think you may
sportsbook
be right.
operators
Before.
are old pros at this. They know how to get things up.
Well,
online
remember,
very
New York's
quickly.
got that different setup.
I know,
different setup
but,
in New York. So.
But they really adapt very well, and they've been doing this for years now, so they can do this at a blink of an eye.
Well, keeping with the online, the mobile sports betting theme here, just real quickly to add into it, Louisiana. I just mentioned Louisiana doing their retail launch earlier than anticipated. Online launch, they are talking mid-January now.
Yep.
NFL playoffs, not Super Bowl, NFL playoffs. They originally said January 1st, but the Gaming Control Board chairman Ronnie John said to expect the first licenses for online sports betting to be approved in earlier mid-January. So they're looking at possibly mid-January launch for the online sports betting industry in that state. Two states going in the opposite direction that seem to be stuck in limbo at the same time, Ohio and Massachusetts. Ohio has come out and said that they expect a finalized bill ready to go by December 8th. For sports betting in that state.
I'll believe it when I see it. They've said that before, and they push it off before, and
And Massachusetts,
I have no faith in Massachusetts whatsoever.
They have now agreed to do a study on sports betting.
So what is that going to be? Years from now in Massachusetts? Which, by the way, is the corporate headquarters of DraftKings, by the way.
Honestly,
and Massachusetts is dragging its feet.
I just don't know what's going on.
What kind of study do they need to do?
Well, they're going to look at the benefits of introducing a legalized sports betting framework in the state. That's the name of the study. Or that's the overall goal of the study.
How about billions of dollars for schools and hospitals and some much-needed roadway and things like... I know we just passed the big infrastructure bill out of Washington, but you know what? Local roads, you got schools, you have hospitals. We're just coming out of a pandemic. Don't tell me you don't need the money to help people. So,
well, again, it's a matter of
it's ridiculous
they got to
now.
convince people up in Massachusetts.
Half of the country has sports betting. What do they need to study?
Just about all of New England has sports betting.
They have sports betting in New Hampshire, north of Massachusetts.
There are 6 states. 3 of the 6 have
Connecticut,
sports betting.
Connecticut. They have Rhode Island.
And New Hampshire.
In New Hampshire. Yeah, I said New Hampshire.
DraftKings.
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, I'm not sure what they need to study. They see what's happening in other states. They have all different kinds of models they can use, and what's happening. The study
is going to collate data from the other states to look at how they successfully rolled out their gambling industries and sports betting. They're also going to
The numbers are out there, though.
The numbers are out there.
They don't need to correlate them.
They've had these numbers.
You give the numbers every week, for God's sake. They have the numbers there.
Well, I think it's a matter of they got to convince a lot of people. One additional aspect of this study, which I think is kind of interesting, they are going to be studying cell phone data for gambling from the surrounding states.
That's ridiculous.
It's kind of interesting that they are going cell phone.
Well, look,
now.
They want to waste time. Go ahead, they waste time. Whatever.
Well, they got the money to do the study, so I think they wanted to spend the money for the study. One last piece.
Is there a time frame on this study?
No time frame.
No time. No.
Of course not.
No.
It's Massachusetts. They're going to drag this out as far as possible. One last legislative note. Back in New York, State Senator Joseph Adabo.
Yes, he was on this show.
He has filed Senate Bill S7536, or will be filing for the upcoming legislative session, which begins January 1st. It's a bill that includes a provision that would permit online sports betting operators to partner with select affiliates and install kiosks on the premises. Now we're talking
premises of what?
Bars, arenas.
Oh, nice.
Not casinos.
All right.
Non-casino entities.
Okay.
So that's kind of expanding the definition of actually sports betting by just doing that little amendment here.
That's great.
Also, BetMGM just launched their horse racing app, and you have Naira Bets up in New York.
Absolutely. I love Naira Bets.
And, Senator Adabo's bill also is seeking to allow the 9 qualified sports betting operators, the guys that just got their licenses,
sure,
to have the ability to offer fixed odds wagering through the apps.
Which is great. I love fixed odds for horse racing. Fixed odds, anyone don't know, fixed odds, when you place a bet on the horse, that fixes the odds of when you placed your bet. Pari-mutuel betting, which is mostly done now, you bet on a horse, and whatever the final odds before race time is, those are the odds you have. You can't lock in, or you can't fix your odds when you place your bet.
And the operators under the
I
bill,
hope that was clear.
That was clear.
Okay.
That was clear. And the operators have to partner with a licensed horse racing provider to do this.
Okay.
So, talk a couple deals before we get out of here for the week. Betway announced a multi-year partnership with the New Jersey Devils. They'll have brand exposure and TV visible signage throughout the Prudential Center for Devils home games. Mm-hmm. They're also going to gain dashboard. I guess that's the sideboards.
Yeah.
The Zamboni Tunnel.
Okay.
I mean, I think it was BetMGM do the Zamboni for...
Oh, yeah. Who is that?
For Madison Square Garden. The Rangers.
Yeah.
Well, Betway has the Zamboni Tunnel for the Devils.
By the way, in a couple weeks, we'll be talking with Betway and the Supergroup, right?
Yes.
So stay tuned for that.
And in-bowl staircase branding.
Oh, okay.
So you'll be stepping on Betway as you're walking to your seat in the lower bowl. Tipico had entered into a partnership with Major League Soccer team, the Colorado Rapids.
Okay.
Naming Tipico as the team's official presenting sponsor during the Audi 2021 MLS Cup playoffs.
Will they have the patch on their shirts?
I would assume that's what they're doing. So
it should be all over the
well, you're going to have additional activations.
Arena.
You're going to have ticket giveaways, seat upgrades. This is interesting. This is a nice package. An all-inclusive Tipico Terrace Club box during playoff games featuring the Rapids.
Oh, okay.
So they have a little terrace box up in the stadium.
Okay, cool.
You're going to be in a Tipico box.
Nice.
PhoneBet, which is a overseas sports betting operator, named 3-time World Ice Hockey Champion Alexander Ovechkin as its new global ambassador.
Okay.
I'm trying to think, has there been any other hockey player overseas globally?
I don't think so.
This might be the first one. I can't remember. I don't remember.
I don't know if anything's happening in Europe, in the individual European countries with soccer, with hockey players and sports books, but no, this is the first global that I've heard of.
Well, this is kind of interesting. It's Ovechkin will be featured in advertisements, fan engagement opportunities, giveaways, workshops, exhibition matches, and also, I've never heard of this one. They're going to include him in press conferences.
Oh, okay.
I've never seen that announced in any of these deals before, so it was kind of a wrinkle to it, I guess. Sport Radar has announced a partnership with the Swiss Handball Federation.
Oh, okay.
I have yet to see handball on any TVs lately.
No. That must be one of those.
It's huge overseas.
I guess it might be one of those things that they stream on the online things. I'll have to take a look. It just sounds like a sport that they would stream. If they do ping pong and darts, I would think handball would be one of the things.
BetSperts announced that NBA All-Stars Kevin Durant and Chris Paul have joined the company's $6 million Series A round funding that it received recently. And last but not least, we're going to go to cockfighting.
Okay.
You don't talk cockfighting enough.
I know, boy. It's. I'm assuming you can't bet on that in this country. Hopefully, you can.
This is in the Philippines, and I had to talk about this. I have it in the ticker too. If people are watching it, on
I can't
TV,
believe it's still
the
legal in the Philippines.
It's huge in the Philippines.
Really? Okay. All right.
Filipino politician and former House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano, I think that's how you say his name, has warned that online cockfighting, or e-sabang. Sabang is what they call cockfighting. That's the word for it.
Okay, so they actually stream it online?
They stream it online.
Is that I'm getting this?
Yep.
Okay, wow.
E-sabang and online gaming are likely to turn into the new pandemic in the country. He's fighting against two operators who are applying for 25-year licenses in the Philippines to do sabang betting.
Wow. Okay.
And if these guys get their licenses, they're going to be able to do not only betting from the tournament, I guess you can call it the event.
I have no clue.
The cockfight, and they're going to stream it offline for online bettors to do it as well.
That's unbelievable. That's still legal.
It's unbelievable that it's such an industry down there.
I guess it's an industry. Yeah.
And it's enough for a former House Speaker of that country to actually go against it. And he's being supported by the Catholic Church in the country.
Well, good for them.
So that's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. And there's more stories that we didn't have a chance to cover. They'll be on the printed version. Go to turnpikesportsradio.com, click on the blog, and the book report in print form will be published there. Any news stories, please send them in to info@turnpikesportsradio.com, and we'll do our best to include them on the air, or at least in the print version of the book report.
Well, that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.